Back out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. That's my supper plans right there. Western Pizza tonight, and we said that there was a good chance. The odds were good that Luke Mullinder. It was paying 110 that he was in the swimming pool this afternoon because it's a perfect day to own a swimming pool. But Luke, when I look up on Google, the worst part about owning a pool is the relentless time-consuming maintenance and hidden costs. Pools require constant cleaning, chemical testing, and equipment care. If ignored, the water can quickly turn green and cost thousands to fix.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, if you're a complete schlep and didn't know what you signed up for, obviously it's a lot of work. Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I love doing it, man. It's the most relaxing thing ever. Me cleaning and maintaining my pool water and pool is the best thing for my mental health that I've ever done. Period. Skimming the pool, just making sure, man, I'm telling you, I changed my filters for the first time and I felt like I had built the pyramids of Egypt. I'm telling you what, and it's an easy job, but you know what, man, it's good. But you're right. You caught me right out of the pool. I'm sitting in front of one of the windows that looks over the pool, make sure the kids aren't drowning themselves. But,
you got a towel. You got a towel wrapped around. Out of the corner of my eye, when you first came on, I thought you were wearing one of those old 8-ball jackets.
Well, I was gonna go tarps off for Sports Cage listeners, but I didn't know what type of ratings we had on the radio show. So, because I was actually gonna do it for my beach chair, but then I was like, well, Luther and his friends are being too loud, so can't do that.
Do you have a little diving board or no?
No. So listen to this. So. Michael Bumeshrik, we actually, so like, you know, I didn't always have when I built my pool, like before I had built the pool, we swam in Mike Abumeshrik's pool. And that's where Luther learned how to swim and stuff. But more importantly, Mike had a diving board and a deep end in his pool. And so when we built this pool, I remembered that whenever Mike had like a get together or a pool party or people over, everybody just crowded in this 1/3 of the pool, which was the shallow end. And very rarely did he. So I was like, when I built this, I was like 3 to 6 feet. So now everybody uses the whole pool. You know, the chances of kids drowning goes down by maybe 5% just because kids are stupid. You still got to watch them. But man, it's, you know, like it's awesome. It's a real social pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look at people. You're getting the knowledge here. If you're thinking about buying a pool.
My neighbor, shout out to Glenny. My neighbor, he's got a deep end. So if Luther really wants to dive, he just goes to the next door neighbor's pool.
Glenn, I'm going to do some dives. I'm going to do some schmitters.
Yeah, shout out to Glenn. Shout out to Glenn. He's the man.
Back-to-back neighbors. What a neighborhood you're rolling. And you know, the therapeutic thing, you got me there, though, because the one thing that I used to find was so therapeutic, just go outside all by myself, was flooding the kids' hockey rink in the backyard.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Yeah, it was...
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's just flooding the hockey rink in the summertime. It's awesome, man. Yeah.
So I
But I don't hold on. But I don't, Barney. One thing I don't do, I don't actually clean the bottom of the pool. Like get all like, you know, the vacuuming and stuff. I have a robot that does that. I throw a robot in, it cleans the bottom of the pool, sides of the pool. That's the one thing, because that's actually the manual labor part that nobody likes to do. That will get your pool dirty if you don't do that. So I bought a robot for that.
Yeah, it gets slimy and like slippery at the bottom. Yeah, you don't want that. Okay, I did this yesterday. We did this yesterday with Glenn Suter.
Okay.
The buffalo at Yellowstone Park we're not making fun of the man. I would have done the same thing that he did. I thought he played it well. If people haven't seen this before and you're not watching the stream, we're going to get Luke Mullinder to do color commentary of Buffalo flipping.
All right, let's do it.
Here okay, Curtis,
so hold
play
on.
the tape.
All right, folks. So I'm assuming Dave has just called this play. Like I'm just sort of taking over for Dave.
Yep.
All right, here we go. All right, guys. So listen, what the Bisons do here is they run the F around and find out play. Okay. So, you've got these idiots here that have gotten out of their car. And see, this is where the Bisons set it up, right? They get dirty, they throw a bunch of dust around to make it look like they're just warning. But see, this is the best part of the play. So then it kind of, the Bison just heads over there to do a check. Now, this is where the play works, guys. All right. This dummy is using the tree as protection. This is a terrible offensive strategy. Now watch this. Now watch the technique here, guys. All right, the guy's hiding. Now they work on this every week. Every week in practice, the Bison works on this neck movement in order to get these guys in the air. All right, because that's where the technique pays off. And boom, look at this, right in the air, 8 feet. And I tell you what, guys, the Bisons train all off season for this neck muscle deal, right? Okay, so they line up. They're literally training all off season just on that neck movement alone. Because in order for the play to be successful, guys, you've got to be able to lift. I mean, this guy's 8 feet up in the air. And by the way, he's not a light guy. This isn't Weston Dressler, folks. This is a lineman that's being escorted 8 feet up in the air. So it's great technique. I love the play call at that time because, again, if you're going to disobey the rules in Yellowstone and get out of your car, that's when the Bison should be doing that play, right? The Wolves do the same thing, but the Wolves, it's a worse outcome. The Wolves, there's blood everywhere, right? And you're just gone, right? So the Bisons, this is a really responsible play, right? They send their one guy in, right? They eject him 8 feet up, and then the rest of the crew, guys, the next play, they're waiting on the next play. They're just grazing. I'll tell you what, man, the F around and find out play is probably one of the most effective play calls when you've got stupid tourists that don't read the instructions when it comes to the car.
Does old man Marley there rest on his laurels a little bit, Luke?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, right? That's why the F around and find out play is effective, because normally the people that they do it on are those idiots that don't work out, that just think that the world is their oyster, right? And just think they can do whatever they want. Normally, these people don't have any physical attributes about them, right? And that's what creates the buoyancy to lift them up in the air. They have very little muscle, right? They don't have a lot of brain cells, so the internal weight behind them is actually not that much. So these Bison, they just go all off season waiting for this neck move, and it's just executed. I'll tell you what, man, Dave. If I was the Bison coach, they're gonna watch that in film tomorrow, Dave. They're gonna watch that in film, and it's gonna be a great film moment.
There it is. There it is. The breakdown. I didn't think it was that bad of a move. I thought the Bison did play it well. But okay, let's move on. Oh, that was great. Edmonton, BC tonight. What?
Yeah.
Bigger game for Edmonton to kind of, okay, we got to beat BC here. We think we're a good team in the West, or BC saying, we got to start putting some wins together here because the West is going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, well, you're kind of in that situation where the first 6 weeks are gone, and nothing's really. You got to remember, I mean, BC in 2011, I think that they start at 1-9 and still won the Grey Cup, right? So there's plenty of time. It's just there's a little bit of sense of urgency on just making sure, not necessarily getting the wins right now, just making sure you guys are playing together. So I think that BC now, right? You get your first win out of the way, you feel good, and then you can harness like everything that you see on film now is actually a winning play versus a good play and a loss, right? So now you're like, okay, this is well executed. It's like the Bison we just watched, right? Like there, you see yourself executing, and now you're executing and you're contributing to a win. You're not just executing a play and you're on a losing squad. So it's a different feeling altogether. I would expect it to be a good game. I kind of hope Edmonton wins though, because I want Edmonton and Saskatchewan to be everything that I'm imagining it right now next week.
That's a good point.
I don't want a redemption story for Edmonton next week.
Okay.
I want Edmonton coming off a high, playing their best football, and the Riders coming off a bye. That's what's gonna make the cash registers sing.
Philpott or Rankin, who would be your MOP right now?
Philpott or Rankin? Alexander Davis. Yeah, or Cody Fajardo. Like, I think those guys are playing at a high level. I think Philpott's playing at a high level, but like, man, he wouldn't be getting the ball if it wasn't for Alexander Davis, right? Davis Alexander. I'm mixing them. That's what you get for having two first names.
It's the French.
You got two first names, and that's what happens.
It's the French box. It's backwards.
Dude, I knew this guy named what was his name? It was like Gary Robert, right? Like Gary, those are two first names, and he wondered why everybody was confusing him. It's because so you got Davis Alexander, I think he's playing out, but between the two, I think Rankin would be the guy next. He is awesome. That guy is one of the better all-around football players in our league right now. He is a threat every single play, every single sort of inch of the field. And the best part about Rankin is they have another starter behind Rankin. So it's not as if Rankin's going to be exhausted. Like, you can keep both of those really good running backs fresh. And man, does it ever pay off. Montreal's got the same sort of system. They got two really good running backs, Tice and the first guy they roll out there. Like, those two teams right now have one of the best probably the best 1-2 back combos in the leagues. And that's why they're at the top of their divisions.
Javon Leake, yeah. They can spell him off.
Leake's unreal. Leake is unreal. Like,
yeah.
and that's the best part. You've got Rankin and you're like exhausted because you fight and you keep him to a first down or a big play, and then Leake comes on fresh as a daisy with his like 4-1 speed. It's that offense, boy. It's hard. It's hard to stop. That's why it's set up. That's why Cody's playing so well too. He knows Cody knows that he's got two weapons that keep the linebackers low anytime he looks like he's going to hand the ball off, right? Like, clears up throwing space for him. Edmonton's got a real good thing going there.
Over under, it's set at 60.5 tonight. I just hit the over. I'm going to stop at the Lotto Spot retailer and take the over as well. Where would you go tonight on that?
Where's the game being played?
Edmonton. Weather's perfect.
In Edmonton? Under 60.
Okay. Curtis likes...
like close to it, though. Like 58, I'm talking about. Like 58 in a Rouge, like 59. So it's going to be like a nail-biter, right? I took the under last week with the Riders, and I was getting mad at like the garbage points that were getting scored. I remember I texted you, Barney. I'm like, man, somebody better just win this game. I don't want to see another garbage point scored. But oh well.
We gotta like back up the podcast here, because I literally said like the first hour it's gonna be 58 points. We're on like the same wavelength there, and I hit the under. So
go for it. You need to go over for a swim, Curtis.
C2, C2. That's not going to work. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get on the same page as me so you can have your first name back, but it's not going to work. You're going to be C2 forever. Nice try.
Hey, there's rumors, or there's a report that the Riders are bringing in a pass rusher and a Derek Robertson, who was a UFL All-Star, just finished playing with DC. If those reports are true, beneficial, because is that one thing the Riders are missing right now, is a little bit on that pass rush?
Oh, the Riders are developing nicely. I mean, you always want more players, right? More pass rushers, especially. You got to guard against injury. But right now, that first defensive line that we got going, and Pate now adding to that, being like Pate and Jalen and Desmond Evans being able to play end and tackle. Like, right now, that group is gelling. That first five, not just the first four, that first 5 or 6 guys, they're really coming together. So I wouldn't mess with that chemistry they're building. But I always listen. You always want to push guys, right? Make sure guys know that it's a business and there's always somebody behind you, and you always need pass rushers for injuries. So, yeah, it's a guy, I don't know much about the guy, right? I'm a CFL guy. I'm not a UFL guy. So I'm a CFL NFL guy. I don't have time for another sport, another football, unless it's flag football on Luther's team.
And it hasn't been published by the Riders yet. So it's just reports.
Oh, okay.
That's the case.
Yeah. Those guys. They're using their athleticism well. They're gelling, like, in terms of their games that they run. Like, when the defensive tackles loops around and defensive end, right. The way they run their games, they're really coming along with that. Like, they're gelling. I would let them keep rolling as a group for sure.
If you had to ask, if you were on another sports talk show, which sometimes you are from around the country, and they said, explain Jackson Ford to us, this guy that keeps stopping people on third down, how would you explain him, Luke?
How would I explain Jackson Ford? I would say that Jackson Ford is a throwback, a mix between Scotty Gordon, and someone fast. I'm thinking Tristan Clovis. But I think that his IQ has developed to the point now where he's seeing the field really well. He understands his position. I love the physicality that he plays with. I mean, he's been a stud on their short yardage formation. I think that, I think that I can't say enough good things about Jackson Ford. And I'm a massive Nelson Lacombo fan too. Like, I love having Nelson Lacombo and Jackson Ford be interchangeable in that defense and be out there. But he's having a heck of a season, man. He should be proud of himself. But, I think that with Jackson Ford, the mission now is just to continue building, right? Look at the film. You got to look at it with a really keen eye. Continue to do the positive things you're doing, but like, you got to really fight to find out what you can do better when you're on a high like that. And I'm sure that, he's getting a lot of shoulder rubs from the guys in the locker room, and he deserves it. He's playing great. So, yeah, man, I remember Scotty Gordon. He was never, Scotty Gordon, Jamie Borum, because Jamie Borum was more physical than a lot of the guys that weren't punters, right? Jamie Borden, and someone fast that I played with. I can't remember if Tristan Clovis was that fast, but yeah, like I love his physicality, man, and he sees the game well now. Sky's the limit.
What are you thinking when Josh Woods is taking that back? I know a guy that had an anytime rider defensive touchdown, so he's running up and down the Craven Country Motor Inn. But how are you calling this one here? What are you thinking?
It's not about the return. He gets in the end zone. I just can't believe the amount of energy he has after the play. Like, he gets in the end zone, he celebrates, and then he just, look at him, like he's full of energy. So let me tell you something. 80% of the guys on the field, if they took that for that long, they'd need the air machine right away. They'd have to get on the air, right? As soon as they get over, give me the air machine. And I'm sitting here for like this guy's fresh as a daisy, man. He could have ran a play right after that. I was amazed at just the stamina and his ability and his cardio, because he's ready to do another play like right after. I'd be exhausted. You wouldn't be able to get me on the field for another 4 plays, right?
What was the most impressive thing for you in that game for the Riders?
I've said it a lot. I said it right after the game. The most impressive thing about that victory was in recent years, a team with a backup quarterback and a lot of holes to fill would come into Regina and give the Riders a real tough game. Like, they might win, or they'd at least and everybody would be like, oh, it was a trap game, right? Like, in years past, that's what the Riders were set up here. What I loved about that is it was just a dominating effort.
Yeah.
They came in limping, and the Riders stepped on their throat. I loved it. It's not one like, and that's what you get when you win championships. That's what you get when your roster, the majority of the roster was together last year winning a championship. They understand now. And a limp and a duck with a broken wing, that tastes just as good on the grill as one that was flying, right? So put it on the grill. And I think that the dominating way that they went about that was awesome. That's what I want to. That is a championship caliber, championship mentality team, and it's going to serve them well moving into to the rest of the season.
It looks like 29, maybe 30 degrees on Thursday. The long-term forecast here. It was 50 on the field. And if anyone's ever been on that field down in Mosaic, that's how it gets. It gets really hot. For that, what's
50 in the broadcast booth?
Did you get the door? Did you get the window shut? Did that worked out for you?
Listen, I came in like a lawyer. I was ready to plead the case to make sure those broadcast booth doors stayed closed. And I was very fortunate that I didn't have to pull out the actual 35-page document that I had prepared in order to keep the broadcast booth closed. We all agreed to keep the booth closed. It was a responsible team effort. But it wasn't hot. So all those folks that were texting me on the sunny side, I was laughing.
Okay, last question. What's the hottest game you remember playing in? Maybe it was a college game. I don't know. Maybe it was a CFL.
You know what? I think it was one of the Labor Day games. I can't remember which year, but I remember one of the Labor Day games was extremely hot, and we won it, obviously. But I just remember, because it was funny.
Early 2000s?
Yeah, for sure. And it was just, I just remember Labor Day being just a scorcher.
I was there.
Which year was? I don't remember what year that was.
I can't put my finger on, but it was in the wood. stands on the north end zone, back sweat, big cargo shorts, sweating, drinking beer. Double fist.
Man.
Double fist guy.
Double
Okay.
fist guy? Yeah, those 5'8" guys, they can hold their alcohol, boy. I tell you what.
Well, I got to pick up Junior at like 8:00, so I got a 2-hour window that I'm not doing anything. I don't know if you're doing anything, but
come by the pool, man. I'll text you my address. Come by the pool. I'm gonna have smokies on and everything. My buddy Tyler's about to come over here. Yeah, come on by. I'm telling you know, like everybody always says, well, why don't you invite me to the pool? I'll tell you what. Everybody's more than welcome to come over. I just, man, like my phone is not attached to my hip when I'm sitting on my beach chair. You know what I mean? Like I'm not thinking about, oh, you know what? It would be really nice to see so and so. No, just come by.
Maybe I'll stop at Giant Tiger, grab some new trunks, and then do that up. I don't know.
Well, no, you're not that tall, so you could probably fit my son's ones.
Yeah, good finish. Okay, if not, we'll see you tomorrow night. We'll have a good time. If you want to do something after tomorrow night, there's a cabaret. I got a bunch of tickets. If you're wearing cowboy boots and stuff.
Cabaret. Come on now, man. You knew what I was going to say to that before you even said that. Out loud. Cabaret.
Okay.
Cadbury chocolate, maybe. I'll see you guys
tomorrow.
later.
See you tomorrow.